Welcome to 20-minute yoga sessions from yogadownload.com. We need your help to keep this podcast going. If you enjoy these classes, please consider donating 10 to 25 cents for each episode you download, or $1 each month. Send your donations through paypal.com to info@yogadownload.com. Your support is greatly appreciated.
Welcome to Yoga Download, 20-minute power yoga flow with emphasis on hip opening. My name is Donnell and I will be your guide today. To begin, come into child's pose. Spread your knees wide to the outer edges of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Press your hips into your heels. Walk your fingertips towards the front of your mat. Press your elbows down. Draw your forehead to the mat and close your eyes. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose only, allowing your breath to become deep and rhythmic. As you inhale, fill your lungs all the way to the top. Allow that breath to expand through your back, your shoulders. And as you exhale, sink deeper into this posture. Noticing the hips begin to release. Your belly surrendering between the thighs. Expanding through your chest and your shoulders. You can return to this pose at any time during your practice today. Listen to your bodies. Stay connected to your breath. And when you're ready, come into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under and send your hips high to the sky. Here in down dog, begin by pedaling out your heels right and left, shifting your hips from side to side. Then gaze underneath one arm and gaze underneath your other arm. Doing this allows us to become aware of any areas in our body that we have tension or tightness, resistance. Then send our breath into those areas and begin to let them go. Coming into the foundation of your downward facing dog. Press your palms flat, spread your fingers wide. Press your palms forward into the mat at the same time, draw your chest back. Lift your hips high to the sky, and at the same time, drive your heels to the mat. Feel the link to the back of your legs, your hamstrings. Breathe into this pose. Every inhale, you lengthen. Every exhale, deepen. We're going to begin our warm-up flow, beginning with Sun Salutation A. Look up between your thumbs, and gently walk forward. Top of your mat, toes and heels will touch. Fingertips stay in the mat. Soften your knees as you inhale into a halfway lift, lifting your chest, flattening your back. Exhale, pull down forward, bend forehead to your shins. Inhale, Tadasana. Ride your inhale breath all the way to standing, arms high above your head, fingertips reach to the sky. Breathe here for a moment. Stand up tall. Stand up strong. Your feet pressing down into the mat, and at the same time your fingertips reaching high to the sky. Relax your shoulders down your back and away from your ears. Shift your weight into your heels. Lift your toes from the mat. Turn your gaze to your thumbs as you inhale. Fill your lungs. Exhale, backbend. Push your hips forward. Lift your chest towards the sky. Draw your fingertips towards the back of your mat. Inhale, return to your center. Bring your palms to touch over your head. Exhale, swan dive into your forward bend, opening your arms wide, coming all the way down, forehead to your shins. Pull deep. Let's breathe here. Halfway lift. As you inhale, lift your chest, flatten your back. Plant your palms to the mat. Step back to Chaturanga. High to low push-up, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Expand your heart center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Take everything in. Connect to the sensations and the vibrations that you've created. Begin to walk your hands back towards your toes. Walk to the back of the mat. Gorilla. Lift your toes. Slide your palms underneath your feet. Toes will come to the back of your wrists. Soften your knees, belly to thighs. As you inhale, halfway lift. Lift your chest, straighten your arms. When you exhale, bend your elbows open wide, tuck your chin, draw your forehead to your shin and your crown to your mat. Breathe. Roll your weight forward slightly into the balls of your feet. Apply pressure to your hands. And as you step onto your hands at the same time, pull your hands up onto your feet, pulling yourself deeper, allowing the hamstrings to lengthen, the spine to lengthen. Use the strength of your biceps to come even deeper into the posture. Release. Lift your toes. Release your hands, palms flat to the mat. Walk forward, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high to the sky. Runner's lunge as you exhale, stepping your foot to the outside of your right hand. Breathe here. Your back heel drives towards the back of your mat. Your back leg is straight and strong. Your front toes are turned out into a 45-degree angle. Breathe here, your palms pressing into the mat, your arms strong and your core strong. Now please release your back knee to the mat. Press the top of your back foot on the mat. Roll your front knee open wide. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, letting your front knee open wide. Plant your left palm into the center of your mat, palm flat. Draw your chest up and then sweep your right arm high to the sky. Breathe here. Allow your hips to surrender. Breathe. If you're feeling a lot of resistance, back off just a little bit. Or maybe try to deepen your breath. Watch your reaction. Bend your back knee. Breathe here. Now you can stay here, or if you're ready, sweep your top hand behind, capture the outside of your foot. Begin to draw your heel towards your tail. Keep surrendering your hips, expanding your heart center, and turn your gaze to the sky. Breathe into it. Breathe into the sensations of your inner thighs, of your hips. Gentle twisting of the spine, the expansion of your heart center, the opening of your shoulder. Release, returning to runner's lunge. Palms to the mat. Back knee lifts away from the mat. Back leg straight and strong. Breathe. From here, step forward into frog. Bring your left foot to the top of your mat. Your heels are in, your toes are out. Your hips sink down in between your heels. Your knees will open wide. Draw your shoulders towards the back of the mat. Sit up tall. Now place your hands to your heart center and your elbows inside your knees. Allow your elbows to open your knees even more. Breathe. Feel your tail moving towards the mat and your crown lifting to the sky. Core strong. Bring your right palm to the mat. Sweep your left arm high to the sky, gaze high. Breathe. Return to your center, palms to touch, spine long. Place your left palm to the mat. Sweep your right arm high, gaze high, breathe. Every inhale you expand, you lengthen. Every exhale you let yourself sink deeper into this. Your hips are opening. Return to your center, palms to touch at your heart center. Breathe. Bring both palms to the mat. Step your left leg back, returning to your runner's lunge. Palms pressing into the mat as you step back, downward facing dog. Right leg high to the sky as you inhale. Keep your leg high to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hips, and gaze underneath your right arm. So your right toes will be reaching toward your left shoulder blade. Press your palms forward in the mat and keep your shoulders square to the back of your mat. And as your knee lifts to the sky, your left heel will drive to the mat. Right leg high as you inhale. Draw your knee to your nose as you exhale, core strong. Breathe here for just a moment. Press firmly into your palms. Keep your core engaged as you continue forward, half pigeon. Drawing your right knee to your right wrist. Surrender your hips towards the mat, squaring your hips to the mat. Walk your hands towards your hips. Sit up tall, so your shoulders will be directly stacked above your hips, your shoulder blades drawing together. Feel your hips sinking down, at the same time your crown reaching up. Notice that sensation through the hip flexor muscle. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs. Now as you exhale, hinge forward, walking your fingertips to the top of the mat, dropping your forehead to the mat and closing your eyes. And here you will breathe. You'll send your breath into your hips. Being aware that it's your hips that are your storage depot for all of your stress and your emotions. It's your hips that become tight from any activities you choose to do, such as running, cycling. Whatever activity you do, these muscles that surround the hips become very tight, become short. So in this pose, half pigeon, begin to release that tightness, release the tension. So allow yourself to be here, breathing deep. Every inhale, the breath goes into those areas of tightness. It breaks it up, creates space. And with every exhale, you allow yourself to sink deeper within that space. Each and every breath changes this pose. As you inhale, walk yourself back to your center. Your palms are flat to the mat right in front. Bring your palms to the top of your mat, palms flat, fingers spread wide. Tuck your back toes under. Keeping your core strong, press into your palms, press into your back toes, and lift your hips from the mat. Hover here. Everything is lifting from the mat. Your core is strong. Keep your right knee bent, hover. Now tuck your chin, draw your knee to your nose, core strong. Continue forward, low lunge. Step your foot in between your hands. Breathe here. Continue forward, standing splits. Come all the way up. Right leg straight and strong, left leg lifts. Breathe. Take a moment. Your hips are square to the mat. You flex your back foot. Your heel drives towards the back of the mat, and at the same time your forehead pulls to your shin. If you're more advanced, bring your right hand to your ankle. If you're ready, bring your left hand to your ankle. Breathe. Focus. Bring your palms back to the mat. Slowly bring your left foot next to your right as you inhale, halfway lift. Lift your chest, flatten your back. Exhale, pull down deep. Inhale, Tadasana, reach up, gaze high. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, return to your center, palms to touch. Exhale, swan dive into your forward bend, forehead to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Ride your exhale breath down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your toes. Walk to the back of your mat. Take your two peace fingers and wrap them around your giant toes. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, open your elbows wide, pull down deep. Tuck your chin, forehead to your shin, crown is heavy. Breathe. Continue to use the strength of your biceps and your core to come deeper into this posture. Releasing through the hamstrings, lengthening in the spine. Your crown is heavy, creating space through the cervical spine, the back of your neck. Engage your core, pull even deeper into the pose. Release, palms flat to the mat. Walk forward, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, runner's lunge. Step to the outside of your left hand and breathe here. Keep your back leg straight and strong. Keep your palms pressing into the mat. Front knee continuing to move forward, lengthening the inner thigh, beginning to open the hips. Release your back knee to the mat. Roll your front knee open wide, lifting your arch from the mat, rolling to the outer edge of your left foot. Plant your right palm in the center of your mat. Spin your left arm high to the sky. Breathe here for just a moment. Your shoulders should be stacked. Your hips are continuing to surrender towards the mat. Your chest is lifting and expanding. You can stay here or bend your back knee. Stay here or sweep your top hand behind. Reach for the outside edge of your foot. Begin to draw your heel towards your tail. With each and every breath, your chest expands on the inhale. Your hips surrender on the exhale. Breathe. Return to your runner's lunge. Hands to the mat. Back knee lifts away from the mat. Breathe. Step forward into frog, bringing your right foot to the top of the mat. Your heels are in, your toes are out. Hips sink down in between your heels. Shoulders draw back. Elbows inside your knees, hands to your heart center. Breathe here. Coming into a bind this time. So lift your hips slightly. Bring your right arm underneath your right knee. Sweep it up around your back. Then sweep your left arm high to the sky. Drop your left arm around the small of your back and try to hook your fingers together. Keep surrendering your hips. Allow your left shoulder to spiral open as you gaze high to the sky. Now, binds are not for everyone. It depends on what level of practice you are. Do not force a bind. Allow binds to teach you patience, to help you to watch your reaction. It's during binds that we learn to breathe during difficult situations. And just when we think we need to come out of a pose, is when we need to stay in it. Breathe even deeper for a few more breaths. Release. Return to your frog pose. Left side, lift your hips slightly. Slide your left arm underneath your leg. Reach your left hand up towards the small of your back. Send your right arm high to the sky as you inhale. Then drop your right hand behind the small of your back and try to hook your fingers together. Keep sinking your hips down. Roll your top shoulder open. Turn your gaze high to the sky. Binds are not for everyone. If you are in the bind, please breathe. Stay calm. With each and every breath, you open deeper and deeper into the spine. Slowly release. Frog to the center, hands to your heart center. Breathe. Place your palms to the mat. Runner's lunge, step your right foot back. Turn to your runner's lunge. Keep your palms pressing in the mat as you step back, downward facing dog. Left leg high as you inhale. Keep your leg high to the sky as you bend your knee, open your hips, and gaze underneath your left arm. Your left toes should be reaching toward your right shoulder blade. Palms pressing forward in the mat, your shoulders are square. Your knee is lifting to the sky, and at the same time your right heel is driving down. Left leg high as you inhale. Draw your left knee to your nose as you exhale, core strong, breathe here. Use your core strength to continue forward into half pigeon, left knee, left wrist, square on your hips to your mat. Once you're ready, walk your hands back towards your hips. Palms are flat in the mat. Your shoulders draw back, stacking above your hips. Feel your hips sinking down. At the same time, your crown reaching up. Notice that sensation through the hip flexor muscle. Heart center pulling forward. At the same time, your crown of your head lifting to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, forehead to the mat, and your eyes are closed. Once again, coming into this deep hip opening pose, half pigeon. Allowing the breath to release the tightness and the tension of the hips. Such an amazing feeling this pose gives to us. If you're a beginner, you may be feeling a lot of resistance here. If you do, please just deepen the breath. Stay with the sensations. Breathe. Slowly return to your center, palms flat. Fingers spread wide. Tuck your back toes under. Engage your core. Now lift your hips 2 inches above the mat and just hover here. Everything is lifting from the mat. Your core is strong. Tuck your chin, draw your knee to your nose. Continue forward, low lunge. Hinge all the way up into standing splits. Left leg straight and strong, right leg high. Breathe. Back foot is flexed. Your heel drives back, your forehead draws toward your shin. If you're more advanced, bring your left hand to your ankle. If you're good there, bring your right hand to your ankle. To work on balance and focus, you want to set your gaze to one space. And let your breath stay deep. Release your hands back to the mat. Gently lower your right foot next to your left as you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pull down, forward bend. Inhale, Tadasana, ride your inhale breath all the way up, gaze high. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, return to your center, palms to touch, breathe. Draw your hands to your heart. We will finish with tree pose. Shift your weight into your left foot, your left leg stays straight and strong. As you bend your right knee, reach straight down for your ankle of your right foot. Place your sole of your foot to your inner thigh. Return your hands to your heart center, and together we'll build the foundation of this posture. Please know that this pose is a balancing pose, so set your gaze to one spot in front of you. Keep your breath deep. Press your left foot into the mat. Engage your left thigh. Allow your right knee to draw back, your hips to press forward. Belly draws in, heart center lifts, shoulder blades together, crown touches the sky. Release. Right foot next to the left. Switch sides. Right leg is straight and strong. Bend your left knee, reach for your ankle. Place the sole of your foot to your inner thigh. To help with balance, feel your foot pressing into your thigh, but at the same time your thigh pressing into your foot. Stand up tall and strong. Root yourself into the mat. You're just like a tree. Nothing can move you. Breathe. Release. Inhale, Tadasana, reach up, gaze high. Exhale, backbend. Let's breathe here in this final backbend. Weight should be in your heels, toes lifting away from the mat, your hips pressing forward, front spine growing long as you reach up and back. Inhale, return to your center, palms to touch. Exhale, swan dive into your forward bend. Reach behind your calves and draw yourself as deep as you can go in this forward bend. Touch your forehead to your shin. Maybe not today, but someday. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Look between your thumbs. Bend both knees. Float through seated position. Shoulders stacked above your hips. Now bring your arms out to the front, palms face the sky. Now drive your heels into the mat. Keep your core strong and begin to lay back, using your core strength to lay all the way back, one vertebra at a time. Once you lay down, point your toes and sweep your arms high above your head. Reach and lengthen. Draw your knees into your chest. Come into a dead bug's pose, opening your knees wide, reaching for the inner arches of your feet. Drawing your hips down and away from you, gluing your shoulders to the mat, chin into your chest. Breathe into your inner thighs, your hips. Slowly move into happy babies. Just begin to rock from side to side, just like a happy baby would. Holding onto its feet as you rock side to side, getting deeper into the hips, massaging through the lower back. And then please return to your center, dead bugs. Draw your knees into your chest. Reach for opposite elbows. Push your knees down into your chest, and at the same time, press your knees up into your forearms. Feel that sensation through your hips, ironing out your spine. Supta, Baddha, Konasana. Drop your feet to the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to open wide. Your arms down by your sides. Palms spin to the sky. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Draw your chin towards your chest and close your eyes. In this pose, we will move into Shavasana. Breathe. In this final pose, Shavasana, allow yourselves to surrender, to let go, to enjoy these final moments of your practice. Send your right arm high above your head. Reach to the top of your mat. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly roll over onto your right side, coming to a supported fetal position. Your knees will come to touch, your head will rest in your arm. Take a moment in this transition pose to enjoy the sensation of your hips. Keeping your eyes closed, please press yourself to a seated position. Coming into Baddha Konasana. Once you come to a seated position, open your knees wide, soles of your feet will touch. You'll allow yourself to sit up tall as you drive your tailbone into the mat and your crown reaches to the sky. Bring your palms to touch at your heart center. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs. Open your mouth, exhale. Inhale, send your hands to your third eye center, thumbs between your eyebrows. Exhale, slowly hinge forward. Namaste.